Welcome to the grandiose, encapsulating, and informative MonWHO News Final Recap Special Edition Extravaganza show. I am, have been, and continue to be Johannes Finkelheimer. The 2015 MonWHO conference is now over. I would like to take this opportunity to state clearly and unequivocally, with as much precision as I can muster, within the austere confines of this dignified forum of ideas debated and truths expounded upon, that I am fully, explicitly, and consciously elated by this year's incredible display of mental acuity, ethical discoursing, and above all, the coffee. The countries of the world have been represented, no, embodied, by this year's delegates, and I offer you my most sincere expression of goodwill in response to your international fellowship. Once again, our journalists brought a truly wondrous sense of relentless, dogged determination to express noble ideas of truth, candor, and of course, investigatory rigor. Embellish, we do not. Children can sleep better tonight thanks to your efforts. Let's dive right into the final pieces from our intrepid reporters.
Hi, this is Rui from Al Jazeera reporting on day 3 of the MonWHO conference. It has become very apparent that we need a working definition of what mental illness is, and because we don't have one, this has led to a lot of miscommunication, strife amongst the different nations.
Laws from the Pacific Asia region yesterday pertaining to social and economic equality of women. This was rejected by the Middle Eastern countries in the region, specifically Afghanistan, and it is contradictory to fundamental human rights as outlined in the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights.
Afghanistan decided to reject the clause presented by Australia because they mentioned the fact that this institution was supposed to spread modern ideas, thus including the fact that our Muslim societies and our cultures are backward, creating cultural barriers instead of stimulating a debate.
We believe that faith-based healing is a contender in contemporary medicine, and so therefore we should offer it to our population.
Madagascar does not believe that e-health is a viable solution simply because it incorporates the DSM-5, which is a Western-developed criteria for evaluation of mental health, which doesn't consider the cultural nuances of the traditional medicine that is very prominent in the countries on our African continent.
Hi, this is Sarah for CCTV. After 3 long days of debate, MonWHO is reaching to an end, unfortunately not a very productive one. With the absence of China on an important business trip, delegates of the other nations are scrambling to reach any form of conclusion or progress.
The delegation of Afghanistan thinks that the achievements have been really limited by the West, who has very self-centered point of view and doesn't seem ready to consider the current issues and the current crisis the third world is going through.
And I think that we've progressed far in plenary, not as productive, I would say. I think a majority of the reason for that was because there seemed to be a divide between countries, especially the developing and developed, rather than a unification, which was needed for a successful.
I think that it has been very, very difficult for us to be productive here in MonWHO 2015. First of all, because I think that all of the countries have very different issues they'd like to address, and it's very hard to pass resolutions knowing that we will not, each country will not be able to please everyone. So most of the resolutions are searching actually to please everyone. So the solutions are very broad and they're not being very precise.
Coming to the plenary, it's very difficult to get our ideas across in the light of the European groups having their first resolutions.
See some very disappointing results for MonWHO, reaffirming China's position as #1 power in the world, as its absence is clearly synonymous to chaos. Sarah Nahon, CCTV, thank you.
BBC here. There seems to be a disconnect among the countries. Everyone keeps talking about this Eurocentric view, but what do the actual European countries have to say about it? I've spoken to the UK, Finland, and Germany. There's some conflicting stories going on.
Representation of some countries, there has to be a fine line between stepping over another country's toes, really. When you do speak about your own platform, speak about your own platform or not someone else's, there are similarities, but of course there are differences due to cultural contrasts, and we need to keep that in mind.
Germany and Finland would like to say and make a statement that we do not agree with some countries making statements on the whole European bloc on issues that we have not been consulted on.
Not every country in the European bloc has the same beliefs, and we actually think that this is not a representative idea.
And we don't want anybody talking on our behalf.
That too.
Yes, we are all here to help each other, but we also want to take care of our own countries too.
There seems to be dissent in the ranks. This strong European united front that everyone keeps talking about, this Eurocentric view, clearly isn't the case.
This is CNN reporting with a delegate from Russia. Could you comment on the alliance with US?
So Russia and USA decided to collide because we both have the same idea of access to healthcare for our population, because we care a lot about our mental health situation.
Did US approach you first?
Russia is actually the country that approached USA because USA had a very broad solution, and we are caring about substance use, and we thought that their solutions could be merged together.
Was US happy to collaborate?
USA was very happy to collaborate, and I think that as a whole we would be much more powerful.
Do you foresee any problem in the future due to historical reasons?
The delegate of Russia does not think that it would be a problem because this is not about a political situation, it's about our population and its mental health care. And so Russia does not think that political situation should be a problem in the passive resolutions.
Okay. Working with Care International, what's the biggest surprise that happened this conference?
I would say UK's behavior during the plenary. Yeah, she's pretty funny. I don't know.
Okay. What did you hope to gain from this conference?
Better knowledge of global health and what kind of initiatives could different countries come up with. And I was especially interested with the collaboration between the different blocs that was possible after the first plenary session.
Okay, do you have any general comments for the different country delegates in this conference?
There were a few interesting points from different country delegates. Some of them talked more than others. I think that UK's contribution was very entertaining.
Do you have any other comments apart from UK?
I think that Chad's interventions were on point, and that the delegate of the Republic of Chad was able to identify the different issues with the proposed plans.
This year, we here at MonWHO News have provided, via our multiple platforms, an exclusive, exhaustive, and above all, relentless coverage, a voice for the voiceless masses, whose lives will be changed forever, for the better, forever, by your actions here. Scrupulous to a fault, this year's delegates were magnificent in their comportment, upholding the highest principles of politesse at all times, even prior to coffee, principles that maintain the synergy of international diplomacy and human goodwill. You are, and when I say this, I truly mean it in all seriousness. Welcome. No matter your dental hygiene habits, we salute you. Signing off for MonWHO News, this has been, continues to be, and will be, for the foreseeable future and beyond, Johannes Finkelheimer.